Hello again, my name is Ernest. The details now. Unidentified militia have been targeting ordinary residents in indiscriminate killings at Bawku as the Security Council there sends an urgent appeal for immediate intervention. We'll be hearing details of that shortly, but first, the Peace Council has also been intervening in the situation, calling for immediate intervention as far as the security details are concerned. But let's hear from the MCE for Bawku, who says the situation is getting out of hand.
People who alleged to be military personnel.
Okay.
Were very military, but they're not the real military.
Have you heard from the military commander in your area? Because
he came to me.
Okay.
The police commander was here. The two of them all were here.
Okay.
They saw the incident. They saw the people. I have.
And is he able to account for his men in the area? Does he know where they all went on the said day?
Absolutely. That is exactly what he's telling me.
Okay.
And that is what the divisional police commander Adamu Stili also told me.
Right. So what's the situation like now, seeing that this was very close to your doorstep?
Very, very close, man. So I'm wondering. And that's why I am trying to find out from the military and the police commanders what is happening in Bawku. Look, I'm not talking because they are my neighbors. I must be worried because they are my neighbors. I am worried because some innocent souls in every part of Bawku have been killed in that cold manner. I'm wondering, the life of every single person in Bawku matters to me as a municipal chief executive. Yesterday, they went to an area which is not closer to my area. They equally killed a woman and a husband, and they moved to the next house to kill another lady there. Previously, an old man was killed, and his son was shot at. His son didn't die on the spot. The son was taken to Vineyard Hospital and later died. This is complete violence with impunity. For example, there were other people that were killed. So many people were killed in Bawku. You cannot even mention the names of those people. A woman was murdered. A woman was murdered in Bawku. This woman, apparently, the information I gathered was that people also wore military uniform and they got there. That is what I am getting. Those are the information that comes to me as the chairman of the Municipal Security Council.
He's also been revealing tonight how the unending conflict is hampering development in the area.
One old man who was murdered, and I told you the son died later in the hospital. Baba Salam, I can now figure the name. It's completely nonsense. We don't have to do that. Why should we begin to kill ourselves again in this conflict? I am seriously working on development projects in Bawku to propel the needed development that Bawku is lagging over the years. And that is the period for 1 year I'm not able to do a proper developmental agenda for the people of Bawku. The government of Ghana is stressing so much that the desire to get the people of Bawku the needed development projects that we need as a municipality. Government has gone to look for funding from the World Bank, a loan facility to actually raise the standards of Bawku from its status to a more modernized urban city. The program is running under for 35 municipal assemblies. Bawku happens to be one of the few assemblies in the country that is benefiting from this facility. Millions of Ghana cities pouring in and redesigning the Bawku market and trying to make sure I construct roads for the people of Bawku, provide them with water, give them necessary electricity to be able to do their daily activities. And this impunity keep on going. I think that there's a need for central government to take a holistic approach of this whole thing.
Right.
People are running away from their homes from Dadue. People have vacated their residence in Zongo. Other communities where I live, a lot of people have moved out of those areas. What has happened?
Now, the Peace Council says it is working hand in hand with relevant traditional authorities to find a lasting solution. Reverend Ernest Kojo is the chairman of the council.
The longer this conflict continues, the more avenues criminals are likely to come into the situation. And from what he is saying now, the impression I have is that there are some other people who have infiltrated into the community who are doing these things. And it's because the conflict is on, these criminals can also come in and do all the things that are happening. My view is that we should be able to get the Southeast and the Bawku leadership together, especially between the Bawku and the Nairi, whatever means we have to adopt to get these two top chiefs together to agree to talk to their people to cease fire is a critical thing that we need now. If we're able to get them to get their people to cease fire, then it becomes easier for the military and the security apparatus to fish out these criminals who have infiltrated the system. If they don't cease fire, then we're going to have all these guys running around killing people innocently. And it will be difficult to hold anybody responsible because it appears that the two communities are doing this, whereas it may not be coming from.
Let me take you live to Bawku now. Our correspondent in the Upper East region, Albert, joins us live. Albert, tell us, what is the general feeling among the people of Bawku just around this time?
Ernest, the feeling that you get when you talk to most residents of Bawku is a feeling of insecurity. A lot of them do not feel safe anymore. Especially as it is emerging that the people who were killed 2 days ago were attacked by people in uniform. The questions that are being asked then is that are these, licensed security people, or are these people who are pretending to be security people who are wearing the uniform and perpetrating crime, and the security agencies are not able to stop them? So when you talk to most people in Bawku, they are asking a lot of questions. They feel that certain things do not add up, considering the fact that in the last 2 days as well, when it's curfew hours, you find that there is still shooting going on in the town. And it appears that nobody knows who are the people who are doing these shootings, and the security is on the ground, and they don't know how they are not able to stop people from firing gunshots in the air and making it difficult for people to sleep. 2 days ago, there were people who were running from Bawku to Pusiga and other places to spend the night with their relatives, because the reports we're getting were that the shooting was so intense that some people felt that they were not safe. So that's generally the feeling that you have. But today we have not witnessed any shootings. We've not witnessed any disturbances today. But in the next 1 hour thereabouts, it will be curfew hours, and some of them do not know whether the shooting that is always happening in the night will continue today or not.
And just as people are fleeing from Bawku to Pusiga and all the other areas, we're also learning that it's becoming difficult for people to return home for the festive season. And this is actually becoming a nightmare for the people of Bawku, right?
Exactly so. So you have people who are residents of Bawku who have their families. Some people have parents. Some actually migrated to Bolga and other places because of work. And the Christmas period is the time when they would normally go home and spend time with their family, their extended families, etc. But this is the case that is happening in the opposite. So now you have people leaving Bawku and going to visit people their relatives and family in other towns because they do not feel safe. Now, this is a Christmas period when the rest of us can go out in the night and have fun, hang out with our friends, in our peaceful towns and all that. But in the case of Bawku, it's different. By 8 p.m., you have to stay indoors, and you are only expected to be outside of your home when it's 5 a.m. the next morning. So Christmas is not as it used to be for the people of Bawku, and a lot of them are not happy about it.
Albert, thank you very much, and continue to monitor the situation for us, and especially we'll be finding out if the military or the police will be putting out a statement on the back of this latest development where the alleged attackers are people seen in uniform. That's Albert Sori. He's a man in the Upper East region. Away from that, victims of fire outbreaks are counting their losses as their properties went up in flames on Christmas Day. According to the Ghana National Fire Service, 44 fire outbreaks were recorded across the country There were 11 fire outbreaks in Tema alone, 6 in the Ashanti region, and 5 here in Accra. Thankfully, no casualties were reported. The PRO of the fire service, ACFO Timothy Asafo-Efum, joins us via Zoom with some more details on Christmas Day fires. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. Can you give us the breakdown? So we know of Tema, we know of the Ashanti region, and 5 here in Accra. Where else have we recorded fires this Christmas? You'd have to unmute for me, sir.
So, like you indicated, we have Tema 11, Ashanti 6, Accra 5,
Right.
Northern and Bono regions 4 respectively, Central region 3, Eastern, Northeast, Volta, Bono, and Western regions 2 each, with the Upper East region recording 1. So these are the distributions.
Were they all domestic in nature?
So out of the total, 19 were domestic, 9 commercial, 8 bush, 5 vehicular, 2 electrical installations, and 1 crown fire. So this by category, these were the figures.
Right. And thankfully, as we are learning, there were no reported casualties, but any serious injuries recorded at all so far?
So when we say there are no casualties, it means in general, including deaths and injury.
Right.
When we have any, we'll indicate.
And what is the plan for this festive season? And I ask this question because often there's the concern about your response to emergencies. And around this time where there'll be a lot of engagement with fire, domestically, from the kitchen, industrial as well, a lot of production ongoing. Is there any special arrangement for this festive season for people to have quick and easy access to the fire service?
Yes, yes, what we are doing now is to put a lot of men on visibility duties. And so it will be easier for people to see and call for assistance. Then again, we also have a lot of men deployed for educational purposes. And so wherever you are, you see us coming around. And when you see us, please get some 5 minutes for us to educate you around this particular point in time so that you do not become a fire statistics. We also have some task force formed to also go around specifically to the shopping malls, to the lorry stations,
right,
and to other places of public congregation to ensure that people abide by the safety regulations that we have. And we are doing all this to ensure that this time around, we minimize the incidence of fires around this particular point in time.
I'm grateful for your time. That's ACFO Timothy Asafo-Efum there. He speaks for the Ghana National Fire Service. Some politics now. The NDC minority in Parliament is still after the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, despite losing the censure motion after the majority side walked out of Parliament. NDC MP for Tamale Central, Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, says the minister must be prosecuted for perjury. Now, he claims the minister lied when he appeared before the Article Committee which was put together to investigate the minority claims against him.
If the man duly and natural justice demand that he must be heard, he must be properly represented. So if he chooses that he wants to be represented by a lawyer who is not a member of Parliament, it is not we or the Speaker who must determine to him who represents him. Yeah. He must determine. And lo and behold, when he appeared before the committee, he appeared with a lawyer who is not a member of Parliament. So our suggestion was that he could get any of them to represent him. Mind you, all the 137 members of Parliament said they want him to go. Per the admission of the majority leader. So he perhaps he knew this, and he knew that I could not get anybody who wants me to go. So the Speaker's ruling was to affirm this natural justice principle of being given the opportunity to be heard and to be represented. And the Speaker has been vindicated because he brought a lawyer to represent him. Whatever the case is, we were not happy with that. But if you sit down and you want to insulate the emotions, what the speaker did for me was the best. To be very honest with you, I had some issues with our committee because I felt that the infractions were bordered on finance, bordered on his activities or actions on energy. So I was having an issue. I felt that we should have had someone from finance, on the committee from our side. We had legal representatives. We should have had someone who served in the energy committee. These were the few issues, but they did an excellent job. Another misrepresentation, when the committee decided that certain things should be flagged, and they said, the same thing. Why? You want to get a minister censured. You gave your grounds on which you think that he must be censured. The Speaker constitutes the committee, and the committee says that this one is beyond Parliament. It must only be done by a court and strike it out. How is that a defeat to the committee? When he sat there, he misrepresented facts. And some of them say, the explanation. He misrepresented facts. If we are going to take this, we are going to engage in exposing some of the misrepresentation. And I have called that he should be prosecuted for perjury. Because if you swear oath and you lie, you should be prosecuted. Should be prosecuted for perjury, for lying before the committee. And let's see how our leadership takes it.
Now, the inside story about how they lost that censure vote, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed claims that the NPP MPs changed their stance on the censure motion because they were influenced by a businessman. Listen.
Changed their minds after they themselves admitted that a businessman met them. And after they, let me finish.
And the appeal could be told us that.
Please.
When the businessman came, they sacked the businessman.
Hold on. First and foremost, don't you think that you people, journalists, and particularly multimedia, you should be interested in finding out who that businessman is?
We're interested. We've been asking
hold on.
The majority
not questions. You should go beyond.
Investigating.
You should go. It is not the majority leader who should investigate. He came and met all of them.
Well, we've done stories where anti-corruption societies have asked the special prosecutor to investigate.
The special prosecutor is interested. I am saying that the special prosecutor should be interested in this. Who was that businessman? Who sent him? Did he come on his own volition? Was he sent by the government? What was the interest? And what gave that businessman the courage to meet members of parliament, the legislature, and extended monies to them? They admitted he extended some envelopes. I mean, clearly, if this thing had happened under NDC, I'm telling you, this country wouldn't have been the same. You would have had the so-called anti-corruption agencies. You would have had the Asian Kuma and Co. Maybe perhaps their mouths are full. They are no longer talking. You would have had the what's the name of that MPP wing? That group.
Institute.
Oh, the list said about them, the better. That group that went and that had a vigil at the Flagstaff House.
Occupy Ghana.
Yes.
Occupy Ghana is not an MPP
it's an MPP wing. It's an MPP, independent-minded people. Give me a minute. When this government came, they gave the tax, the money. There were some loans and others went. Were they not the
transaction advisors? Because they are professionals.
Didn't we have transaction lawyers at the Ministry of Finance who could do that? We raised these issues. And at what price?
Now, after having Christmas lunch with the family, the next best thing to do is to continue the celebrations at the Ebri Botanical Gardens for the Joy FM Family Party in the park, the biggest family party during the Yuletide. It gave families, a lot of excitement today. My colleague Papani Ashale engaged some of the families that thronged the venue.
Thrilling patrons here at the Ebri Botanical Gardens. It's been fun-filled activity for families who are gathered here in their thousands. And I'm not saying this lightly. They've come here in their thousands. And it's been a thrilling performance from the artists up to about now when we are having Kwame Eugene on stage. I would like to engage some of the patrons here to get their... Well, so she's dancing already. You give us your name.
My name is Rebecca.
Just tell me how the feeling has been today for you and your family.
It's so exciting. This year's own has been so marvelous.
So can you share for me?
In fact, this year's own, if you're at home, you should be here. Because today, I am having fun. 2022, Joy FM Family Party in the park. Please, You shouldn't be at home. Come to every botanical garden and you have fun. In fact, if you are stressed out, come with your family and you have fun. In fact, Kwame Eugene on stage, I can't stop dancing. I can't stop dancing. I am ready for him. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. And we hope to see you next year. Let me quickly bring you in as well. You give us your name.
I'm Jeffy Rose.
Tell us about the experience for you. How has it gone for you so far?
In fact, I enjoyed myself. I partake in the cooking.
Are you here alone?
Competition. I'm here with my family. I took part in the cooking competition and I was second. In fact,
congratulations.
Thank you. So I had many goodies that I'm sending home. In fact, we are enjoying ourselves today break. And next year, I hope it's going to be bigger than this. In fact, the artists you promised,
Look, if you missed this, you must be kicking yourself. This has been absolute fun and a thriller for the families that throng the Abri Botanical Gardens. That's my colleague Latif Idris and not Papani, who was there earlier for us today. And so that's it for the family party in the park. We'll bring you more updates subsequently. You're watching Johnny's Prime with me, Ernest Manu. We're taking a break. When we return, Charles Ito will bring you business.